everyone who wants to build a great portfolio, who wants to invest for a long period of time, whether it's in Bitcoin, stocks, real estate, whatever, an under-discussed point is that they got to be around for a long time. Warren Buffett is only Warren Buffett because he's 90 years old and he's been compounding for 80 years. I think he started like when he was like 10, 11 years old, and he's now 90.
I'm looking at what the next 63 years looks like. And it's going to be us becoming a multi-planetary species. There's so much excitement from the tech side, but it's going to be a huge amount of wealth created. We're going to create more wealth in the next 10 years than we have in the entire past century, just because technology is moving so rapidly.
The first is that the food pyramid, is basically upside down.
Broken.
Right? Yeah, so hey, we shouldn't eat the things that they told us to eat. The second thing is that I believe it was like 40 or 50 years ago, not a single county in America had an obesity rate over 20%. Now there's not a single county in America that has an obesity rate where it isn't at least 20%. And so there's been this widespread shift. Doesn't matter about, zip code, health, wealth, education, like it is just across the entire country. And then the third thing is if you get on Twitter and you type in some keywords like hospital, healthcare, name whatever, people are complaining and complaining and complaining that the healthcare system is broken. It's too expensive. They can't get good, service, et cetera. And so where do you think we went wrong? Like, where are the problems? Right? Again, we're trying to compound capital for decades and decades, but obviously something is wrong in the healthcare system. What are those problems?
There's a lot of problems and a lot of individual institutions to blame. The Make America Healthy Again initiative, I completely concur with that. We are feeding the majority of America sugar. When did it become natural to feed kids Captain Crunch cereal for breakfast, right? So I grew up with that. And somewhere over the last, 50 years, that was what became breakfast. And it's just all sugar. The human body never evolved to consume as much sugar as we have. 100 years ago, we would consume a couple of kilograms per year. Now it's 100 kilograms per year. Sugar was a very recent addition to the human diet. And it turns out it's one of the major cardiac inflammatory and neuroinflammatory agents. And we're just killing ourselves with the amount of sugar we're taking in. Whole plants. I mean, these are the very basic things I think we all know. But when you go through medical school today, there are like no classes on nutrition. It's like not part of it. But of course, food as medicine is one of the most important things. So in the book, I have a chapter on, longevity diet. It's not difficult. Minimize sugar, maximize whole plants. If you're sitting down at a meal, even the order in which you eat your food matters. Tonight when you're sitting down for dinner, first off, drink a glass of water first. Second thing, take a deep breath in, slow down, activate your parasympathetic system, your rest and digest system, and then eat your vegetables first, like a salad or your, broccoli or asparagus. That fiber slows down your digestive system. Eat your protein next. And then if you have room, you can eat your carbs last. When you're at a restaurant and they bring out the basket of bread and the wine, they're not doing that just to be nice because you might be hungry. They're doing that because they want to spike your blood glucose, which makes you hungrier, which makes you order more food from the restaurant. It's a slight bit of manipulation. So, what we eat, how we eat it matters. Chewing your food. We all know these things. Not sitting down in front of CNN, the Crisis News Network, and eating your food, which gets you all in a tizzy and activates your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight, which is the worst situation to be digesting food in.
One of the things that throughout the book I took away is there's this element of like long-term thinking. Taking a deep breath, the way you eat the food, like they're all little daily habits or sequences, et cetera. But if you do it every single day the right way for a long period of time, you get the benefit. But if you only do it once a month, you don't really get that much benefit by eating the food in a certain order. It's the daily habit that really feeds into it.
Yeah, 100%. I added, at the very last chapter I added to the book was a chapter on routines and habits, because I realized that for me, the routines and habits I've built over the years And it's really last 10 years I focused on this, that transform my life. It's the things that you do every day, the small things you do. When you get these habits, it keeps you from negotiating with yourself, right? So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is have a gratitude for the day. Like, thank you for this incredible day. And I'm so excited for it. Beginning with this positive attitude, right? And kicking my butt out of bed to go and work out. And I work out, at least 5 days a week. Last year I added 10 pounds of muscle, which was my objective, which was not easy, but muscle is your longevity organ. And there are things you can do to add muscle. There are lots of reasons we can talk about there. But my day begins the night before by going to sleep on time. When you go to sleep on a routine basis, for me, it's in bed by 9:30 every night. It's not every night, but it's my objective to get there. And that sets me up for getting up, because my body wakes up at like 5:30 anyway. And if I go to sleep at 9:30, that gets me my 8 hours of sleep.